Please listen carefully.
Welcome to Clubmen 1645, and today we're back at Compton Abbas in Dorset. And Compton Abbas is the home of Clubmen Down. And that's where Thomas Bravell in 1642, when he was made the Reverend of this church here, St Mary's, were gathered to talk to the Clubmen in 1645. But we've come here today to talk about the history a little bit, about the background about Thomas Bravell, because we know quite a bit about him. We know he was born at Chipping, Camden in 1616, went to the College of Magdalene in Oxford in 1634, and then became Reverend here in 1642. And then he married Susanna Pym, I believe, a young lady. But in July of 1645, he was one of the men that went with a petition to see the king at Raglan Castle, and we have that petition here. Here it is. And it's called the Humble Petition of the Inhabitants of the County of Dorset, and it was presented to His Majesty at Raglan Castle on July the 8th, 1645. And I think we've got, if I remember, yes we do, we have Thomas Bravell, name at the bottom there, with a Thomas Young, the man from Badbury Rings who wrote the Desires and Resolutions, which we have a copy of here. So there you go. But yes, after the Battle of Hambledon Hill, what happened to Thomas Bravell? Well, he seemed to have got away with it. He wasn't put in the church with Robert Frampton or any other prisoners that day. There was 300 altogether. But he seems to have appeared again in 1646, collecting tithes in Powerstock, and was put before the Standing Committee, the Dorset Standing Committee, in 1646, where they wanted his land, basically, his question of his land and property. But his wife petitioned the Dorset Standing Committee, I would believe, and he was back being the Reverend in 1647. And with that, he saw the end of his days here to 1645, where he passed away.
1655.
1655. I keep saying that, 1645. It's in my head, that 1645. But I wanted to mention his words on Hambledon Hill, because they're great words. And when the Cromwell's dragoons attacked Major des Boers from behind, where they attacked the Clubmen, these were his words. And I've read these out before, but they're always worth reading again, aren't they?
They are.
They must stand to it now, and that rather than lose their arms, he would pistol them that gave back. So he was saying you can't retreat, basically. Stand your ground. And obviously they didn't. And a lot of them come down the hill, and as I said, some were put in the church, and that was the battle on Hambledon Hill. But also, while we're here in Thomas Bravell territory, let's show you these badges we've made. Yes, I'm very proud of these.
Yeah, so
we made these with retro paint. We got Clubmen 1645. We got this is all Stuart McCarthy's work, who did the map. And we've got the if you do plunder and do battle, can you pick that up?
Yeah, just see
which
that.
Is the Hambledon Hill. We got resisting the arbitrary power of the sword. Clubmen 1645. We have a copy of the Desires and Resolutions on a badge with a Clubmen 1645, and we've got the Resist All Plunderers, as it says in my t-shirt, but Clubmen 1645. Yep.
Yep.
So we'll be handing these out in the next couple of months because we're getting some more artwork done, aren't we, Sheila?
I know, it's really exciting.
It's exciting. I can't tell you about it because it's going to be exciting. I want to keep it a surprise.
Gathered the afternoon into my glass.
We're in Compton Abbas, and this is Gore Clump Path, and at the end of the path there is Sheila from Metro 8, the camera lady. But this path leading to Gore Clump leads on to Clubmen Down in Compton Abbas, where Thomas Bravell would have gathered with the clubmen back in 1645 to speak, because it's a natural amphitheatre once you get up there. I think I've explained that before in previous videos, but yeah. So I'm gonna follow suit now along Gore Clump Path. Behind me, over there, is Clubmen Down, and we've been to the St Mary's Church, where Thomas Bravell would have preached back in 1645. But this is a lovely view of Clubmen Down here on this spring-like day in April. Can you get a good view there?
Yeah, I want to just twist it round.
Okay,
actually.
we'll stand out the way. Now this is where Thomas Bravell would have gathered with the clubmen in 1645, and they would have talked about the plight and their fate, which was upon them in the English Revolution, Civil War, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Thomas Bravell would have walked out here. We just walked down this avenue behind us, a really old walkway. Clubmen, no, it's not Clubmen, that's Clubmen Down. That's Gore Clump Path, isn't it, Mrs. Wiggins?
It is.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was just making sure I could see all of you.
Yeah, and that's I know you want to see all of me. And that path is a really old path, because as you walk down you can see all the coppiced hazels and stuff along the side, can't you?
Yes, that's
Yes.
not really old hedge.
Yeah.
And the path's really sunk.
And the path is really sunk,
yeah.
as you say. So that would have been an ancient walkway as such. But yeah, great day. Compton Abbas, well worth a visit. As I always say with these Clubmen sites, visit them yourselves, because it's well worth it. Or if you can't, watch the videos. I've just shown you Clubmen Down at the bottom of Gore Clump Path.
Yes.
Yes, and when you get to the end, you can see Hambledon Hill, and it's right behind me that way. And that's lots of planes flying about us, because that over there is Compton Abbas Airfield. So there's always planes flying around here. But yeah, so it's amazingly close when you get to these sites. You know, it's easy to walk. You can see Compton Abbas, Clubmen Down, and it's obviously Hambledon Hill there. So all these places are rendezvous for the clubmen. We're quite strategic, so I can't say that word. Strategically, quite close at hand, and they all tie up with old paths in some aspect, because we've just walked down an old path which he would have probably walked down himself back in 1645, and then gone to join the clubmen there when they heard the bells ringing, because they heard the bells ringing on that day on August the 4th, 1645, and it was a call for rendezvous on the Hambledon Hill there, where they were going to march upon Sherborne. But they were caught napping as such when Cromwell turned up, and they had to make their stand there. But yeah, so there you go. Keep an eye on the Clubmen site, Clubmen 1645, and Miss Wiggins now is going to pan round and show you Clubmen Down.
Yeah, and you can see how it's a sort of a natural amphitheatre, really.
A symbol to crack ash, repeat unrepeatable pattern I'll be. Terrible art, the seasonal hazards maybe making it hard. There's no way to obey all that's in my heart.
Welcome to Clubmen 1645, and we're back at Compton Abbas. And behind me over there is the
Behind you is the little bit of dog fight.
in his parish. We didn't have a parish, but he regressing he get his parish back in Compton Abbas, which he did in 1647. Why waffling? Chipping Camden.
Chipping Camden.
Not
that's it.
Campton, Chipping Camden. Thomas Bravell was born in Chipping Camden.
Chipping Camden.
Not
that's it.
Campton, Chipping Camden. And in 1634 he went to the Oxford University, didn't he? What was it?
Magdalene College.
Magdalene College. Yeah.